Hello, hi everyone, welcome to Go Classes. Let's see this question. Okay, so we have already seen that for this question, the successive combining method will give you wrong answer. Successive combining method, whatever you do, okay, if you combine two relation at a time, for example, if you combine two relation at a time, then you can never combine all of them in a lossless manner. So you can notice the successive combining method will give you wrong answer. The successive combining method will say that the answer is lossy, but actually this decomposition is lossless, and we will see this using Chase algorithm. Okay, so let's apply the Chase algorithm for this question. Okay, and this Chase algorithm is very simple algorithm we have already seen. So let's just start with the Chase algorithm. So you can notice, first of all, you can notice the dependencies, the functional dependencies are like this: a determines c. Okay, so these are the functional dependencies. Let me write: a determines c, b determines c, c determine d. So a determine b, b determines c. You can notice, okay, de determines c, de they determine c, and you can notice ce determine a. CE determine A. So these are the functional dependencies that are given to you. Now you just create the setup, initial setup. So A, B, C, D, E, and there are five. So there you will create a matrix. Okay. So here you will have A, here you will have B, C, D, E. Okay. So these are the rows. Okay, these are the columns, and R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. These are the rows. Okay. R2, R3, R4, R5. Okay, so these are the rows. So finally what we have is these are the rows we have. Okay, so now now notice that these are the rows that we have. So this is the just initial setup. Okay, now I'm writing. So R1 has A comma D, these two attributes R1 has. So what you will do, you will make entry here, A entry here. Okay, R2 has A comma B, so you will make entry here, A, and okay, R3 has B comma E, R3 has B comma E, so these entries you will create here. Okay, and let me just, okay, remove it. And now you can notice R4 has CDE, R4 has CDE, and you can notice R5 has AE. So R5 has A comma E. So this we have, correct. So this is the initial setup. Now after this initial setup, what we are going to do, so let us see after this initial setup what we will do. Okay, so let us check it out. Now, after this initial setup, what we will do? So let's take again now. So you can notice A determines C, correct? A determines C. Now let's take this. A determines C. So remember this functional dependency. What it means? It means that A determines C. What it means that whenever A determines C, what it means, if two tuples have same A value. So for example, if two tuples have same A value, let us assume, and let's assume that you know that here value is 6. Now automatically because A determines C, and if you know that this value is 6, then automatically what will happen? This value will be 6. This value will be 6. The point is simple. A determines C. A determines C. What it means that if A value is same in two tuples, then C value must be same in those two tuples. Correct? So this is the idea. Now you can notice A value is same in these tuples, in the first, second, and last tuple. In these tuples, A value is same. In this tuple, A value is same. So definitely, okay, in these tuples, C value also must be same. In these tuples, definitely C value also must be same. I don't know which value actually. Okay, I don't know which value to put. I don't know which value to put, but I know that C value must be same. For example, A determines C. What it means? 555. I don't know which value to put, but I know that C value must be same in all these tuples. So this is what I'm going to do. So here in these tuples, okay, a value is same, so in these tuples C value also must be same. So let me put another entry B, this another entry B, let me put this entry B. Okay, so this entry B I am putting. Okay, now you can notice after this setup, so after this step, what we got, finally what we got is this. Okay, so this B we got here, this B we got here. Okay, correct, and this B we got here. Okay, now you notice, now what you will do, so you can notice B determines C, correct. So you can notice that B determines C, and from because of this B determines C, what will happen? because of this B determines C, what will happen? That if two tuples have same B value, they must have same C value. So these two tuples, they have same B value, correct? These two tuples, they have same B value. So they must also have same C value. So here they must have same C value. So this B will repeat here, correct? So this is the simple idea. So finally what we got, okay, so finally this is what we got here, the finals. Okay, this is the final thing we got. So I can say that this is what we got, B, 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 B. Okay, so this is what we got. Now you can notice what is the next thing. Okay, just notice. So okay, now here, so C determines D. Okay, so C can determine D. Okay, so here you can notice C determines D. What it means? It means that if C has same value in some tuples, then D also must have same value in those tuples. So in these tuples, C has same value, correct? In these tuples, I can say that C has same value. So I can say that C has same value in these tuples. So wait. Uh, just okay. Anyway, so let me write it here. Let me write it. This is B, this is B, this is B. Okay, so just okay. So now you can notice, so this C determines D. What it means that whenever C has same value, then D also must have same value. So here you can notice, so in these tuples C has value B, so in these tuples C has same value, so D also must have same value. So what should happen? So this A should repeat, because okay, so this A should repeat in these tuples. Okay, so in these tuples this value should actually repeat, correct? So this is what we got. So from here I can say that we got these values A. So in D column we actually got all the A values. So this is what we got. Now what is the next thing? What is the next thing now? So you can notice that from here DE determines C. So just look at it. DE determines C. So whenever DE has same value, so here you can note DE has same value. So C also must have same value. So you can notice in these tuples, C also must have same value. In these tuples, C also must have same value. Correct? So in these tuples, C must also have same value. So what should happen? That okay, just make all the entries B. So what you will do? All these entries you will make. Sorry, all these entries you will make A. Okay, because we want A entries, so these two entries you can make A. So from here what we got, these entries have become A. So finally I can say that these entries, this entry, these entries have become A. So this entry has become A, this entry has become A. Okay, now what is the next step? Okay, after this step you can notice that CE determines A. So what it means, that whenever CE has same value, okay, notice that in these tuples CE has same value. Just notice this, okay. So in these tuples CE has, so this C, okay, so I can say these tuples CE has same value. So CE here also C, here also CE is this. So in these three tuples CE has same value. So A also must have same value. So what must happen here? So here A must repeat. Okay, so finally we got, okay, so this is what we got here. So this A we got here, this A we got here. Now what to do? So okay, sorry. So now what we do? So you can again, now again you can notice that A determines C. Now again you can notice A determines C. So A will determine C. Now here A has the same value A. Okay, so in these rows A has value A. So in all these rows C will also have value A. So here you just okay make the A entries, because remember finally we want A entries. This is what we want. So the final point is these, okay, so these entries have become A. So this entry become A, this entry will become A. So this is what we got. Okay, now what is the next step? So okay, now you can notice, now you can stop here. Actually you can stop here also. Okay, you can stop here because we got a row. Okay, once we get a row of all A's, you can stop. So here you can stop because we got a row whenever you get a row of all a entries, you can stop of all entries. So finally, because of this row, I can say that this is a lossless. So this is the idea. Okay, so this is a very simple algorithm. I hope you found this. Okay, I hope you found it easy, and this is just a matter of practice. You just practice it and you can very easily see that this is the answer. So the answer is lossless because we got a row in which all the entries are a. So finally I can say that this is a lossless decomposition. So remember, this decomposition is actually lossless, but the successive combining method will give you wrong answer. So this will give you wrong answer. So that is the reason this chase algorithm is very nice. Okay, let me just do the conclusion. So the conclusion is very simple. Initially what you do, this is the initial setup. So first you, okay, so the columns, you can notice the columns are the attributes and the rows are the sub relations. Okay, now you put these entries. So r1 has these attributes. R1 has a comma b, r1 has a comma d. So because r1 has a comma d, so what you will do, you will put these entries in a comma d. So like this you create the initial setup. After this initial setup, what you will do, you just check the functional dependencies. Now this functional dependency is saying that if two rows have same a value, then these two rows must have same c value. So you can notice this is what we are doing. These three rows have same a value, so these rows must have same c value. Okay, so you can put b comma b here, you can put b comma b here. So this is the idea. Okay, okay, so this is the complete idea. Okay, now finally this is how you can do. Okay, finally one by one all the functional dependencies you can check, and once you get all the rows you can stop. So remember, the chase algorithm will stop either when you get all the rows with a entries, then you can stop, or you can stop when there is no changes. So remember this point. So the chase algo, this chase algo stops, or I can say terminates. When this will terminate, okay, when either there is a row when either there is a row, okay, with all a entries, with all a entries. So if either there is a row with all a entries, or we can't make any changes, we can't make any changes to the table, we can't make any changes to the table. So in this situation the algorithm will stop. Okay, so this is the idea. So this example we have seen. Okay, thank you everyone.